We take it for granted that we can just hop online and do, well, anything. But the internet isn't automatically open for everyone. It's just not. Thankfully, there's a global standard designed to fix that called the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG for short. So let's get into it.
So let me just ask you this, right at the top. Is your website truly open to everyone? It seems like a simple question, right? But the answer is often way more complicated than we think. Because for a lot of people, the digital world is just full of these invisible barriers.
And here's the best way to picture it. Imagine this incredible public building, but the only way in is up a giant flight of stairs. If you're in a wheelchair, that building is completely closed off to you. The web can be exactly like that. And WCAG? Well, that's the blueprint for building the digital ramps.
So first, let's dig into the why. Why do we need these ramps? Because this isn't just about ticking some boxes or a nice-to-have feature. We are talking about real human beings, and frankly, real legal and business reasons.
Now, when we talk about who benefits, the list is huge. We're talking about people with all sorts of disabilities. Visual, auditory, physical, you name it. But here's the thing that most people miss. This also helps someone with a temporary injury, like maybe you broke your arm, or a new parent trying to browse with one hand while holding a baby. At the end of the day, accessibility just creates a better experience for absolutely everyone. Now, something that trips a lot of people up is the legal side. You hear about laws like the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, and then you hear about WCAG. How do they connect? Well, this slide nails it. Just think of it like this. The law, the ADA, tells you the destination. You must provide equal access. WCAG is the map. It gives you the clear, turn-by-turn directions on exactly how to get there.
All right, so now we know the why. Let's get into the what. When you first look at the WCAG guidelines, I'll be honest, it can seem like this massive, super technical document. But it's actually built on a really simple and, I think, kind of elegant foundation. And that foundation is this one little acronym, POUR. P-O-U-R. Seriously, this is the heart of the whole thing. Every single guideline, every rule, it all fits neatly into one of these 4 principles. If you can just remember POUR, you're already halfway there. So first up is P for perceivable. It basically means that people have to be able to see or hear or somehow perceive the information you're putting out there. It can't be invisible to their senses. The classic example? Putting text descriptions on images so a screen reader can describe it, or adding captions to a video. Simple.
Next is O for operable. Can people actually use your website? Can they click the buttons and navigate the menus? A huge piece of this is making sure that anything you can do with a mouse, you can also do with just a keyboard. That is absolutely critical for so many users.
Then we have U for understandable. And I know, it sounds obvious, right? But you'd be surprised. Is the language clear? Is the navigation consistent from page to page? If people have to stop and guess what a button is going to do, well, you're not meeting this principle. It's all about making things clear and predictable.
And last but not least, R for robust. Now this one's a little more on the technical side. It just means your code has to be clean enough that all sorts of different technologies, especially assistive tech like screen readers, can understand it. It's about future-proofing your site so it doesn't break when new devices come out.
Okay, so you've got the 4 POUR principles. Within those, there are 3 levels of success. The easiest way to think about it is like a pyramid. You have level A at the bottom, that's the absolute must-haves. Then you build on that with level AA, which is what most organizations aim for. And at the very top, you have level AAA, which is more of a gold standard for specialized sites.
And you can see right here how it all stacks up. It's cumulative. To get to level AA, you have to do all 32 things in level A, plus the 24 new ones for AA. That's why that level AA target, with 56 criteria in total, is really considered the sweet spot for most websites.
You'll also hear people talk about different versions, like 2.0, 2.1, 2.2. Don't let that confuse you. Here's the key takeaway. They are backward compatible. The new versions just add more guidelines on top of the old ones. So if you're compliant with the latest version, 2.2, you're automatically covered for all the older ones. Just always aim for the latest.
Okay, so you get the why, you get the what, so the big question is, how do you figure out where your site actually stands right now? Let's talk testing.
There are really 2 main ways to go about this. You've got automated testing, which is like a quick scan. Software can find a lot of the low-hanging fruit really fast, but, and this is a big but, it can't catch everything. For that, you need manual testing. That's the deep dive, where real humans, especially people with disabilities, actually try to use your site. The best approach? It's always a mix of both.
So when you're ready for that essential manual testing, you've basically got 3 paths you can take. 1, you can build your own team of experts in-house. It's a big investment, but it's amazing long-term. 2, you could hire a consultant to come in and do a one-time audit, which gives you a great snapshot of where you are. Or 3, you can find an accessibility partner who works with you on an ongoing basis, really integrating into your team. All right, let's pull all of this together. I know it can feel like a lot to take in, but really you can think of WCAG as your North Star, a clear guide to creating a web that works better for everyone. Now this number, 86, it looks big, I get it. That's how many success criteria are in the latest version of WCAG. But try not to see it as 86 chores you have to do. See it as a comprehensive 86-step map. Every single one of those items is a clear instruction for how to remove a real barrier for a real person. It's literally your roadmap to inclusion. And hey, don't just take it from me. This quote from the people who actually created WCAG, it just says it all. It is a single, common, global standard. That means it's a shared language for all of us, designers, developers, everyone, to work together to fix the web.
So I'll leave you with this one question. After all this, from adding text to an image to making sure a keyboard works, what's the very first barrier on your website or your project that you can go and remove today? Because that's how this whole thing starts, one digital ramp at a time.